when you pick a new project, how do you forget your Catherine Deneuve?
I don't think too much about it, so it's not that I have to live with myself thinking of. I try to be as genuine as possible. When I read a script, as the first. It's like when I go to the movie. I really go to see a film as a moviegoer, and when I read a script, I try to read it as I would read a script, just for what it is, and not thinking of. It's just that I'm not so embarrassed probably with myself because I don't live maybe as much as you think of myself. I mean, as an actress.
I think we have time for a couple more questions. Someone there in the back? Yes, you?
Oh, I thought it was a wonderful movie. It was really funny, and for someone who doesn't speak French, I thought a lot of the humor still came through really well. It was just the 70s. It was so incredibly well done. There was a thematic thing which reminded me of my favorite movie in which Madame Deneuve stars, which is Belle de Jour, where you are seem to be a very pristine housewife, and yet you actually have a whole nother life that nobody knows about.
You see, you never know about housewives.
I never thought I would ever have the opportunity to ask you what it was like to work with Luis Buñuel, so if I could just ask that, I apologize to the other two people. I'm not asking about this film.
I will be quick.
Very quickly.
It was a very, very important experience, but as far as I'm concerned, my experience in Tristana that I did after with him was more important than Belle de Jour because we worked, it was closer because we were in Spain where he had not returned since he did Viridiana, so I was really much more happy to do Tristana with him than I was on Belle de Jour, which was a very difficult film to do. But he's a very impressive director, a very impressive person. He has a great sense of humor, but he doesn't communicate so much.
You have a chance to see Belle de Jour and Tristana very soon. So. And one last question. Okay.
This way.
Hi, assistant.
I have a semi-question. First, I think I just want to say I'm very happy to be here and very honored to see all of you. And I've been a big fan of Catherine Deneuve since I'm probably like 6 years old, and I have one movie poster in my house. It's the Demoiselle de Rochefort, and I know all the lyrics anyway. It's very great to be here.
Can we hear something?
And François, I love your movies. I'm obviously from, I understand it very clearly. It's like I'm from that generation, late 60s, baby born, and I grew up in, in a family that was actually with communist parents. So, it's I was really into, sort of like submerged in that sort of like political and like, aspect of, like the parenthood that was very, sort of engaged. And I understand, like, the idea in the film. My question to you is, I know Catherine is, in the movie.
Communist?
Well, Gérard Depardieu is communist, and you see clearly sort of, but you sort of like see clearly the different like parties, and then suddenly your main character is sort of like without etiquettes. I forgot now like how to say it. Yeah, without label, and then she gets elected, and I'm just curious about like what's your choice for that?
Actually, in the play, she didn't enter in politics. You know, the end of the play was when the husband came back and he discovered his wife is a very good boss, and she keeps the place.
Okay.
And it was the end of the play. And I
So
thought
that's
it
like
was
the-
not enough. So I needed a third act. So I had the idea of the betrayal of the daughter and the fact to push Suzanne Pujol in politics.
Right.
And I asked myself what kind of politician she could become, you know. And I have to be logical with the character, you know. She doesn't become a communist, you know. At the end. She comes from a very conservative family, so the idea was more to be in the logic of her father, you know, who was a very paternalist, the kind of boss in the 30s in France who is very kind and take care of his workers. But so I think she develops this kind of things she knows, you know.
Right.
And but I think the end is quite ironic, you know, the fact she wants to become a mother for everybody. You know? It's funny because some French feminists sent me some message saying thank you to have done this film, except the end. Because I didn't like in the speech the fact that she says she wants to become a mother. But I'm curious to know if the American thinks she can become a kind of Sarah Palin.
I can't wait for the remake, you know.
She's doing that.
Not
She has never been a Potiche in Arlington, no?
No.
She has been a Potiche?
Well, I'm sure sometimes everybody once in a lifetime, you know.
Everybody's a Potiche.
It's just a moment, you know. You can be a Potiche not all your life. It's just a moment where you're just.
Barbara Bush was a Potiche, no? She was a Potiche, Barbara Bush?
I'm not sure it was a Potiche in that couple. I think that's all we have time for tonight. So it was really fun to have you here. Catherine's coming back in a few minutes to say a little hi before the masterpiece Repulsion in a beautiful black and white crisp. It was great. So we're just going to let the guests out first, and then everybody can exit.